I wanted to ask you a little bit more personal questions about yourself, because I always wondered, what was that turning point? What woke you up and what made you care to fight against injustice?
Well, I mean, I've always sort of devoted myself to, trying to use my energies and my skills on behalf of people who were kind of being attacked by more powerful forces when I was practicing law and the like. But what made me think that that was an inadequate way was just how kind of radically I thought things were changing in the wake of 9/11. And the kind of trigger case for me was when Jose Padilla, the U.S. citizen who was arrested on U.S. soil at Chicago International Airport, was then thrown into a military brig and imprisoned for 3.5 years without any charges of any kind, simply based on the secret declaration that he was an enemy combatant. And to watch a U.S. citizen be imprisoned without charges based on this theory that the president could essentially exercise whatever powers he wanted against anyone is what made me see how sort of extremist the political culture had become, and that combating it meant not just practicing law but becoming more involved in the political conversation.
Was there any particular injustice or persecution that you went through or you personally saw that affected you?
You mean in my life?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can pinpoint anything comparable to the kind of injustices I work on. I mean, obviously, I'm gay. I'm not able to live in the United States with my partner, which is a pretty profound injustice. And I think that anything that happens in your life that kind of excludes you from comfort and from mainstream and, sort of privileged platform ultimately is very helpful in making you think more about things, because when you're excluded, you start analyzing and assessing things more. You start questioning and challenging convention and orthodoxies more. So I'm sure those experiences have been helpful, but I wouldn't put anything that's happened to me on par with the kinds of abuses that I work on.
Yeah, there's a lot of greater injustices, but when you are somewhat affected by it, there's a duty to act. And my last question really is there an answer to all these problems? What do you think is the solution? Is it protest? Is it journalism? Is it hacktivism? What do you think is the answer to all the problems we're facing today?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all those things. I think real journalism is important because I do think that the power of ideas is pretty potent. I have a lot of respect for that power. And so uncovering truths, informing other people about things that are happening, reasons that they should care, reasons that they should become more active is crucial. The power of ideas has triggered all kinds of truly momentous change in every culture and in every historical era. I also think, though, that true disruption is really important. Well, I think as long as people who wield power are free of fear, fear of punishment, fear of recrimination, fear of disruption, that they're never going to have motives to refrain from abusing that power. There's lots of different ways to disrupt and to put fear into people's hearts: activism, political change. I think the kind of stuff that Anonymous is doing, making people feel unsafe who wield power and insecure in their ability to keep things secret. I think social unrest is really important, and I just think a general awakening on the part of the citizenry is important as well. But any activism that doesn't kind of put fear into the hearts of people who wield power ultimately is pretty inconsequential and probably even counterproductive, because it diverts attention away from other more meaningful forms of behavior.
Thank you so much. Okay. I'm not going to keep your cab running anymore. I really appreciate your articles and everything you do.
Thank you for your work as always.
No problem. Thank you.
All right.
Tell-link. This call may be recorded. I have a prepaid call from an inmate at Hudson County Correctional Center.
So right now Jeremy's facing 4 counts of computer hacking, conspiracy computer hacking, involved in releasing Stratford documents to WikiLeaks. Yeah, I feel personally that he is